I guess in terms of lectures and presentations, I think it was Nancy that said um, small group work or having an opportunity to talk to your neighbour during lectures. And again, sort of the geekiness in me comes out, and I wanted to identify, is there any evidence based on this? And I think we've all experienced this, is particularly if you're giving a didactic lecture, that you sort of get 15, 20 minutes into it, and by that stage you're sort of seeing people, even if it's a fantastic presentation, they're getting a little bit distracted. So the evidence suggests that you want to incorporate as much, if possible, uh, talking in small groups or talking with your neighbours, even during didactic presentations. So you might be talking about something, and then followed up by saying, right, now that we've covered this concept, turn to your partner and discuss for the next minute your thoughts on it. So it's incorporating a bit of that peer-to-peer and feedback process in a traditionally, didactic environment. So I guess from a formal point of view, you're incorporating this notion of posing a question, pausing, and then inviting people to respond, given the 1 or 2 minutes that they've had with their neighbours to discuss the issue. A few people there talked about what we call flipped learning. So again, the last 3 to 5 years in particular, we've seen much more of an emphasis on flipped learning. So this originated in secondary schools, and we're seeing it translated more in the tertiary sector and postgraduate. So the emphasis is not so much placed on, I guess, the formal didactic presentation, but audience members or students are given an activity to complete before they come to the session. So it's almost priming them to be ready for the presentation, so they're able to get as much out of it as possible. You'll attend the lecture and then follow it up with a post-lecture or post-presentation activity. And most of the time, these pre and post, for lack of a better word, pre and post lecture activities are done online. So again, the students or audience members have got that flexibility in leading that information or engaging with it. And blended learning, again, is a hot topic at the moment. We've sort of transformed most of our teaching to this blended form, and just as the name suggests, you use a bit of everything. So a bit of online, a bit of formal, a bit of informal, a bit of didactic, a bit of group work, and trying to accommodate for those various learning styles.
Dragan, Rebecca's made a really good point that that paired sharing activities with your neighbour are really good for students who are learning in their second language. It's, I guess, a bit less intimidating than speaking up in front of the whole class if you're just speaking to the person next to you.
Definitely, yeah.